A crack formed across the fabric of reality, silent, impossible, and glowing with power no world was prepared to understand. It tore through the dimensional membrane above Gotham City at 11:47 p.m., spilling emerald energy across the polluted sky like a wound bleeding light. No sensors detected it. No spell sensed it. Yet something fundamental had broken, and 4 souls were about to pay the price. In Crime Alley, where Thomas and Martha Wayne had died decades ago, and where hope went to rot, the rift vomited them out 30 feet above the cracked pavement. Leonardo hit first, instinct forcing him into a roll that shattered a dumpster on impact. Raphael crashed through a rusted fire escape, metal shrieking. Donatello slammed into a brick wall, his bow staff clattering away. Michelangelo bounced off a parked car, setting off an alarm that wailed into the Gotham night. For 3 seconds, the world was pain and confusion. Then, training took over. Leo was on his feet, katanas drawn, scanning the alley with eyes that had seen 1,000 battles. The air tasted wrong. Too much sulfur, too much rot, too much desperation. This wasn't New York. The architecture was older, meaner, built to contain violence rather than prevent it. Gothic gargoyles leered from cornices. The moon hung bloated and yellow behind a skyline that looked like broken teeth. "Report," Leo commanded, voice cutting through his brother's groans. "Busted shoulder operational," Raph grunted, wrenching his arm back into place with a wet pop. Twin Psi appeared in his hands like extensions of his fury. "Dimensional displacement confirmed," Donnie wheezed, fumbling for his cracked goggles. His scanner was sparking, displaying readings that made no sense. "We're not in Kansas anymore, and we're definitely not in the Krang dimension either." "Dude, I think I broke the car," Mikey said, extracting himself from the vehicle's crushed hood. His nunchaku spun nervously in his hands. "Also, why does everything smell like a dumpster fire? Had a baby with depression." The answer came in the form of gunfire. 12 men rounded the corner. Human, armed with weapons Leo didn't recognize but understood instinctively. Their body armor bore a distinctive symbol, a black mask, stylized and cruel. The leader, a scarred man with silver teeth, raised an assault rifle. "What the hell are you things?" he snarled. Before Leo could answer, a woman's scream pierced the night. Behind the gunman, 3 people were pinned against a wall, a family, Leo realized. Father, mother, young son. The child's eyes were wide with terror that had nothing to do with 4 mutant turtles. "Black Mask wants this block clean," Silverteeth continued. "You freaks picked the wrong night to crawl out of whatever sewer you came from." Raph's growl was pure predator. Wrong answer. The turtles moved. Leo's katanas were a silver blur, disarming the first 3 gunmen before they could process movement. Raph charged straight into the center, using his shell to deflect bullets. The round sparked off his hardened carapace, ricocheting into brick and pavement. Donnie's bow staff swept legs, precise strikes to knees and elbows that dropped armed men without killing them. Mikey flipped over the leader, nunchaku catching the rifle and yanking it away in a move that defied physics. The fight lasted 18 seconds. 12 armed men lay groaning on the pavement, weapons scattered, bones broken but not shattered. The family stood frozen, the father shielding his wife and son from these new monsters who fought like legends. "Go," Leo said softly. "Run, we won't hurt you." They ran. "Well," Mikey said into the sudden silence, "that was a warm welcome. Do we get a gift basket, or—" The shadows moved. Leo's katanas were up before his conscious mind registered the threat. Something dark detached from the rooftop across the alley, cape spreading like wings of judgment. It landed without sound. A figure in gray and black, cowl covering everything human except a jaw carved from granite and fury. The symbol on his chest was a bat. "You're fast," the figure said, voice like gravel scraped across tombstones. "Efficient. Disciplined. But this is my city." He stepped into the dim light, and Leo saw what made hardened criminals flee in terror. This wasn't a man. This was something that had murdered the concept of fear and worn its skin. Who trained you? Shiva? The League? Answer carefully. I've already counted 12 ways to put you down. Raph stepped forward, sigh raised. Try it, Dracula. Raph, stand down, Leo commanded, but his eyes never left the figure. This one was different. This one moved like Splinter. Economy of motion that suggested absolute mastery. We're not your enemies. We don't even know where we are. Gotham City, the figure said. And you just took down a dozen of Black Mask's enforcers on his territory. That makes you either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. The cowl's white lenses fixed on Leo. I'm leaning toward the latter. Donnie's scanner chose that moment to emit a catastrophic whine and explode in a shower of sparks. Okay, bad news. The dimensional rift that brought us here is unstable. Worse news, it's anchored to our genetic signatures. If it collapses completely while we're still here, both our universe and this one could experience cascading reality failure. Meaning? The figure demanded. Meaning everything within a 50-mile radius gets turned into quantum soup, Donnie said cheerfully. But hey, at least we'll all die together as new friends. The figure's jaw tightened. For a moment, Leo thought he'd attack. Then something shifted. A calculation made, a decision reached. Oracle, 4 unknowns in Crime Alley, enhanced combatants, possible dimensional origin. Run multiversal protocols. A woman's voice crackled in his cowl, tinny but clear. Already on it, Batman. And Bruce? They saved that family. The Garcias, they've lived in that apartment for 30 years. Single income, medical debt, and tonight they get to go home alive because I'm reading their thermal signatures as reptilian. We're turtles, Mikey offered. Teenage, mutant, ninja, the whole package. There was a catchy song about it in our universe. Batman's expression didn't change. Get in the car, now, before every gang in Gotham converges on this location to find out what humiliated Black Mask's crew. He pointed to the end of the alley where shadows seemed darker than physically possible. Move. And if we refuse, Raph challenged. Then you'll discover why criminals in this city fear the dark. Batman's voice dropped to something below human register. And you'll do it with GCPD helicopters painting you as hostile meta-human threats while Amanda Waller deploys containment teams. Your choice. Make it fast. Leo looked at his brothers. Raph's defiance, Donnie's curiosity, Mikey's nervous energy. They were stranded in an unknown universe, outmatched in knowledge, if not skill, and this Batman knew things they needed to survive. We go with him, Leo decided. But if this is a trap, if I wanted you in cages, you'd already be there, Batman interrupted. He pressed something on his gauntlet, and a vehicle emerged from impossible darkness. Sleek, armored, roaring with barely contained power. The Batmobile. Get in. We have work to do. As Leo climbed into the vehicle that would carry them deeper into Gotham's heart, he caught his reflection in the polished armor. A mutant turtle, trained by a master rat, holding weapons forged in sewers, now sitting in a machine that cost more than entire city blocks. Behind them, sirens wailed. Police, ambulances, the machinery of a city that ground up the weak and spat out legends. Whatever came next, they'd face it as they always had, together. If you want to see more universe crossovers, hit subscribe and comment which character or world you want to see collide next. The Batmobile's engine roared, and Crime Alley disappeared into the rearview mirror. Gotham swallowed them whole, 4 brothers from another world, and the night whispered promises of blood and revelation. The Batcave opened before them like the throat of some ancient beast. Stalactites dripping water into pools so deep they seemed to pierce the Earth's core. The Batmobile descended a road that shouldn't exist, carved through living rock, past waterfalls that caught light from somewhere and turned it into liquid silver. Mikey pressed his face against the window, breath fogging the glass. "Dude," he whispered, Our lair has pizza boxes and a half-pipe. This guy has a prehistoric cave system with mood lighting. Focus, Leo said, but even he felt the weight of this place. It was a temple, a monument to obsession. Batman emerged from the vehicle without looking back, cape sweeping across stone that had been polished by decades of footsteps. Oracle, full scan, genetic, dimensional, threat assessment. I want to know what they are before they make it to the platform. Already running, the woman's voice responded through speakers hidden in the cave's architecture. Their DNA is complicated, terrestrial turtle base, but there's something else. Mutagenic compound I've never seen before, and bioenergy readings that ping as both technological and mystical. Impossible, Batman said. So were you once, Oracle replied. The readings are solid. Donnie stepped out of the Batmobile, eyes already cataloging everything. The computer systems, Wayne Enterprises tech, military-grade encryption, processing power that could run a small country. The vehicle bay, 17 different configurations, each more devastating than the last. The trophy room, a giant penny, a mechanical T-Rex, playing cards sealed behind glass that radiated malevolence, even dormant. This is insane, Donnie breathed. Your computational architecture alone, that's not just a network, that's a sentient analytical matrix. And those are quantum processing cores, aren't they? You're running predictive combat algorithms in real time. Batman turned, cowl fixed on Donnie. You understand technology. I built an interdimensional portal tracker from salvaged Krayang technology in a microwave, Donnie said. Understanding is my entire personality. A figure emerged from the shadows, older, distinguished, carrying a silver tray with 4 cups. British accent, perfect posture, eyes that had seen everything and forgiven nothing. Master Bruce, I've prepared tea for our guests, the man said. I assumed they would prefer something calming after their ordeal. Raph stared. Is that a butler? You have a butler in your secret cave lair? Alfred Pennyworth. The man introduced himself with a slight bow. And yes, Master Raphael, even in caves, civilization requires maintenance. How do you know my name? Raph's sigh appeared in his hands. Because I told him, said a new voice, younger, athletic, flipping down from a platform 20 feet above. He wore a suit similar to Batman's but lighter, more acrobatic, with a blue bird across the chest. Oracle ran your vocal patterns against your conversation syntax. You argue like the muscle who secretly reads poetry. Leonardo leads with honor-bound, rigid tactical thinking. Donatello processes data faster than he processes emotions. Michelangelo uses humor as psychological armor. The figure landed perfectly, grinning. I'm Nightwing. And you 4 are the most interesting thing to hit Gotham since someone decided to make fear gas a recreational drug. Leo's katanas were already drawn. You've been listening. We've been analyzing, Batman corrected. Your combat efficiency in Crime Alley was exceptional. 12 armed opponents, neutralized in under 20 seconds, 0 casualties. Either you're well trained or you've been doing this a long time. Both, Leo said carefully. We were trained by the greatest ninjutsu master we've ever known. Our father. Splinter, Donnie added, pulling out his damaged scanner. Mutated rat, trained in the Hamato clan techniques, raised us in the sewers of New York after we were turned into talking turtles by mysterious ooze. Mikey finished. It's a whole thing. There was an evil brain alien involved, and a ninja clan, and literally so many robots. The point is, we're the good guys. Batman's expression didn't change. Good is a matter of perspective. Oracle, dimensional analysis. Holographic displays erupted around them. Data streams Leo couldn't fully comprehend, but recognized as invasive. His reflection stared back from a dozen screens, his genetic code laid bare, his combat patterns tracked and predicted. The rift that brought them here originated in their universe, Oracle reported. But the entry point intersected with residual source wall energy, specifically the cracks left over from the Dark Knight's incident. It's like two wounds touching across dimensional space. English version? Raph demanded. Your universe bumped into ours at exactly the wrong moment, Nightwing said. And now you're stuck here until someone figures out how to untangle two realities that weren't supposed to meet. Donnie was already at the computer, fingers flying across holographic keyboards with permission no one had granted. The dimensional frequency here is different. Higher magical saturation, lower technological entropy. My scanner exploded because it couldn't reconcile the physics. We're literally incompatible with this universe on a quantum level. Yet you're here, Batman observed. Breathing, fighting, surviving. Our mutation adapts, Leo said, watching Batman's reactions. This one was a predator, just like Shredder, but controlled, calculated. Everything Shredder wasn't. We've survived alien invasions, mystical cults, dimension-hopping warlords. We'll survive this. Not without help, Batman said flatly. Argus detected your arrival. Amanda Waller runs Argus, government metahuman task force. She collects threats, studies them, weaponizes them when possible, neutralizes them when not. Let her try, Raph snarled. Batman moved. Leo barely tracked it. A feint toward Raph, redirecting his aggressive stance, then a sweep that would have dropped anyone untrained. But Raph wasn't anyone. He rolled with the momentum, Sai deflecting a strike that would have shattered ribs, came up in a counter that forced Batman back 3 steps. They froze, weapons an inch apart. You're good, Batman acknowledged. But Gotham will eat you alive if you fight like that. Aggressive, emotional, predictable. Predictable? Raph's voice was pure venom. I was holding back. So was I. Batman lowered his hands. The League of Assassins operates in this city. The Court of Owls owns half the infrastructure. Criminal empires run on fear and bullets. And all of them will see you as threats, resources, or entertainment. He turned to Leo. Your team operates from the shadows. So do I. But my shadows have rules. Break them, and I'll stop you myself. Leo met his gaze. Cowl to mask, leader to leader. We don't kill, we protect the innocent. We fight for those who can't fight for themselves. If those are your rules, we're already following them. That's the first rule, Batman said. There are 17 others. Alarms shrieked through the cave, red light washing across stone, turning shadows crimson. Oracle? Batman's voice sharpened. Argus satellites just pinged your location, Oracle said, tension crackling through the speakers. They're triangulating based on the dimensional signature. ETA on reconnaissance drones, 4 minutes. Combat deployment, 12 minutes. Bruce, Waller knows they're here. She's fast, Nightwing muttered. She's thorough, Batman corrected. He turned to the Turtles. You wanted to know where you stand? Welcome to Gotham. Everyone wants you dead, captured, or controlled. The only question is who gets to you first. Donnie's rebuilt scanner screamed a warning. The dimensional rift. It's not stable. Every hour we stay here, it degrades. I'm reading quantum fluctuations that could... The cave shook. Not an earthquake. Something worse. Reality itself shuddering. A fundamental wrongness that made Leo's teeth ache and his shell itch. Through the cave's opening, Gotham's skyline twisted. Buildings flickering, existing in 2 places simultaneously, shadows moving against the light. What was that? Mikey whispered. The universe is rejecting each other, Donnie said, voice hollow. We're like foreign bodies in a wound. The longer we stay, the worse it gets. Batman's jaw tightened. How long before catastrophic failure? Unknown. Could be days, could be hours. Donnie looked at his brothers. We need to close the rift from this side, but that requires understanding dimensional mechanics I can't even scan properly here. Then we work together, Batman decided. Oracle, lock down Batcave security protocols. Argus, get static and false positives for the next 6 hours. Alfred, prepare the East Wing. Nightwing, contact Constantine. If this is dimensional, we need magical analysis. Constantine. Nightwing grimaced. He's going to love this. He doesn't need to love it. He needs to solve it. Batman turned back to the Turtles. You're not prisoners, but you're not free. Gotham is a war zone on good days. Today isn't a good day. Stay close, follow orders, and maybe you'll live long enough to go home. Raph stepped forward, say still raised. We don't take orders from— You do now, Batman interrupted. Because the alternative is Amanda Waller dissecting you in a black site while your universe collapses into this one. Your choice. Leo put a hand on Raph's shoulder, felt the tension thrumming through his brother's body. We'll cooperate, for now. Smart, Nightwing said. Batman's scary, but Waller's worse. Trust me. The alarms continued their shrieking symphony. Somewhere above, drones were converging. Somewhere in the city, forces were mobilizing. And somewhere between universes, a rift was tearing wider, hungry for resolution. Leo looked at his brothers. Raph's fury, Donnie's fascination, Mikey's fear masked by bravado, and made a decision that would reshape both worlds. Show us everything, he said to Batman. If we're going to survive this, we need to understand your war. Batman's expression didn't change, but something in his posture shifted. Respect, maybe, or recognition. Then let's get to work, he said. Constantine arrived smelling like whiskey, cigarette smoke, and something that made Mikey's eyes water, sulfur mixed with burnt sage and regret. He materialized in the Batcave through a circle of golden light that left scorch marks on the stone floor, trench coat billowing despite the absence of wind. Bloody hell, Batman, he said, Liverpudlian accent thick with exhaustion. It's 3 a.m. and I was in the middle of a very promising poker game with a demon who owed me— He stopped, pale eyes fixing on the Turtles. Oh, that's new. John Constantine, Batman introduced without inflection. Occult detective, exorcist, and the only magician who consistently returns my calls. Because I'm the only one stupid enough to owe you favors, Constantine muttered, pulling a silver flask from his coat. He took a long drink, then pointed at the Turtles. Right. Which one of you is leaking dimensional energy like a cracked toilet? That would be all of us, Donnie said, stepping forward with his jury-rigged scanner. The rift that brought us here created a resonance link between our biology and the dimensional membrane. We're literally anchoring 2 universes together through our presence. Constantine took another drink. Of course you are, because tonight wasn't complicated enough. He walked around them, fingers weaving patterns in the air that left golden afterimages. Leo felt something brush against his consciousness. Not invasive, but curious, like a cat investigating a new smell. Interesting, Constantine said. You've got mystic training. Hamato clan techniques, if I'm reading the energy signature right. Spiritual discipline, meditation focus, bit of astral projection. He stopped in front of Leo. You're the one holding them together, aren't you? The anchor. Leo's hand went to his katana hilt. I'm their leader. Not what I asked, mate. Constantine's smile was knowing and sad. Leadership's one thing. But you're carrying their weight. Emotional, spiritual, tactical. I can see it in your aura, burning yourself up to keep them whole. Occupational hazard, Leo said quietly. Alfred appeared with more tea, this time in a chipped mug that Constantine accepted gratefully. Mr. Constantine, always a pleasure to see you haven't accidentally damned yourself since last visit. Night's still young, Alfred. Nightwing dropped from the upper platforms, now joined by 2 more figures. The first was a woman in black and purple, cowl framing sharp eyes and sharper cheekbones. Batgirl, Oracle identified through their earpieces. The second made Raph straighten instinctively. Red helmet, leather jacket, twin pistols holstered at his hips, and an aura of violence that matched Raph's own barely contained fury. Red Hood, Batman said, tone cooling. I didn't call you. Yeah, well, Oracle sent me a text that said dimensional incursion, possible hostile mutants, bring the good ammo. Red Hood's filtered voice carried dark amusement. How could I resist? Jason, Nightwing said, somewhere between greeting and warning. Red Hood, Jason, ignored him, focusing on the turtles. So these are the freaks who took down Black Mask's crew? Gotta say, impressive. Most people who embarrass Roman Sionis end up decorating his trophy room. He tilted his head. You kill any of them? No, Leo said firmly. Shame. Would have saved Gotham some trouble. Jason's posture radiated challenge. Batman tell you his one rule yet? No killing. Not even the monsters who deserve it. Not even when it would save innocent lives. Jason. Batman's voice was granite. What? They should know what they're signing up for. Jason turned back to the turtles. This city will test you, push you, break you, and when you're standing over someone like Joker, someone who's murdered hundreds, someone who will murder hundreds more if you let him walk away, Batman's going to tell you to let him walk away. Raph stepped forward, saw spinning in his hands. Sounds like you got a problem with that. I died because of that, Jason said flatly. Joker beat me to death with a crowbar, blew me up. And when I came back, Batman still wouldn't cross the line, still wouldn't do what needed doing. The cave went silent except for water dripping into dark pools. We don't kill, Leo said, voice cutting through the tension. Not because we're weak, because our father taught us that vengeance and justice aren't the same thing. Kill one enemy and you become the thing you're fighting. Jason laughed, bitter, sharp. Pretty speech. Let's see how long it lasts in Gotham. Enough, Batman commanded. Constantine, what's the dimensional situation? Constantine had been studying the rift data Donnie provided. Golden light flickering around his fingers as he traced patterns only he could see. Right. So the good news is this rift isn't naturally occurring. It was created by technology meeting magic, which means it can be closed. Bad news? It's feeding on ambient energy from both universes. Every hour it stays open, it gets hungrier. Eventually, it'll start pulling matter through buildings, people, concepts. Concepts? Batgirl asked. Ideas made real by dimensional overlap, Constantine explained. Could be anything. They are villains showing up here. Our villains bleeding into their world. Worst case scenario, the universes start merging. Physical laws collide. Reality rewrites itself. And everyone dies screaming as existence forgets what consistency means. How do we close it? Batman demanded. Constantine grimaced. That's the tricky bit. The rift's anchored to them. He gestured at the turtles, specifically to their mystic energy. To close it, we need to sever that connection, which means either sending them back through before it destabilizes completely. Or, Donnie prompted, or one of you sacrifices enough life energy to overload the anchor point and collapse the rift from this side. Constantine took another drink. Essentially, magical suicide. Quick, relatively painless, saves 2 universes. Not exactly a great option. Not an option at all, Leo said firmly. We find another way. Always do, don't we? Constantine's smile was grim. Problem is, we're on a clock. I'd give us 72 hours before this gets catastrophic. Alarm shrieked again. Different pattern, more urgent. Oracle! Batman snapped. Argus drones just breached Gotham airspace, Oracle reported. 4 units, military configuration, heading straight for the cave's topside entrance. They're not here for reconnaissance anymore, Bruce. They're here for extraction. Waller, Nightwing said. She's moving fast. She knows they're dangerous, Batgirl observed, already moving toward the vehicle bay. Unknown entities, dimensional origin, combat capability. She'll want them contained before anyone else can make a move. Let her come, Raph growled. We've fought government black ops before. Not like this, Jason said, checking his pistols. Waller doesn't lose. She stacks the deck until winning's the only option. If she sent drones, she's got ground teams too. Probably Task Force X, the Suicide Squad. Metahuman criminals with bomb collars doing dirty work for reduced sentences. Suicide Squad, Mikey's voice cracked. That sounds ominous and also really on brand for this universe. Batman was already moving, cape sweeping as he accessed computer terminals. Oracle, activate external countermeasures. Nightwing, Batgirl, standard intercept protocol. Jason, I'm going with the Turtles, Jason interrupted. Someone needs to show them how Gotham really works. You'll follow orders, Batman said. I'll do what I always do, Jason countered. Whatever it takes to keep people alive. The tension between them was a living thing. Years of conflict, betrayal, and love twisted into something sharp enough to cut. Leo made a decision. We split up. Some of us stay with Batman, handle whatever Waller's sending. The rest scout the city, figure out the terrain. We're blind here. We need intel. Finally, someone talking sense, Jason approved. Bad idea, Batman said. You don't know Gotham, don't know its rules, its dangers. We're ninjas, Raph interrupted. Stealth is literally our entire deal. We've survived the Krang, the Foot Clan, alien dimensions, and Mikey's cooking. We'll survive your city. Dude, my cooking is fine, Mikey protested. Explosions rumbled overhead. Distant, but approaching. The drones were firing, testing defenses. Constantine pulled out a piece of chalk and began drawing symbols on the cave floor. Right, if you're splitting up, you'll need protection. Waller's got mages on her payroll. Not good ones, but enough to track dimensional signatures. He finished the circle, pressed his palm to the center. Golden light erupted, washing over the turtles, leaving invisible marks that tingled against their skin. There, mystical camouflage. Won't hide you completely, but it'll blur your signature enough to buy time. Constantine stood, swaying slightly. And before you go charging off, this isn't your New York. Gotham's alive, aware, mean. The city itself will test you. Buildings collapse for no reason. Shadows move wrong. Gargoyles watch. He locked eyes with Leo. Your father taught you honor. Gotham teaches fear. Don't confuse the two. Batman's jaw tightened. Decision made despite disagreement. Nightwing, take Leonardo and Donatello, reconnaissance only. Batgirl, coordinate with Oracle on Waller's movements. Jason, I've got the angry one, Jason said, nodding at Raph. We'll check the East End, see what Black Mask is planning. And me? Mikey asked. You're with me, Batman said. Alfred will show you the armory. We're going to teach you about Gotham's threats before you encounter them the hard way. Another explosion. Closer now. Dust rained from the cave ceiling. Move, Batman commanded. They moved. Gotham's rooftops were a different kind of jungle. Concrete and steel instead of trees, but just as unforgiving. Leo moved beside Nightwing across ledges barely wide enough for his feet, the city spreading below them like a map of broken promises. Every building told a story of violence. Bullet holes in masonry, fire damage never fully repaired, windows boarded over with wood that had rotted years ago. Your form's good, Nightwing said, launching himself across a 20-foot gap with casual grace. But you're moving like you expect solid ground. Gotham doesn't give you that. Half these rooftops are structurally unsound. Leo landed beside him, katanas secured across his shell. How do you know which ones? Experience and luck. Nightwing grinned. Mostly luck. Donnie was taking readings with his rebuilt scanner, absorbing everything. The electromagnetic signature here is wrong. There's residual energy from something, multiple sources. Magic, advanced technology, something that reads as both simultaneously. Welcome to Gotham, Nightwing said. We've got wizard detectives, alien tech dealers, and a clown who defies physics through sheer force of chaos. Normal left town years ago. They moved deeper into the city, past the glittering towers of downtown into neighborhoods where hope went to die. Crime Alley's poverty seemed almost quaint compared to what Leo saw now. Entire blocks abandoned, buildings empty except for squatters and predators. Graffiti covered every surface, some of it artistic, most of it territorial markers. That symbol, Leo said, pointing to a stylized owl spray-painted on a warehouse wall. I've seen it 3 times in the last 2 blocks. Nightwing's expression darkened. Court of Owls. Old Gotham money, secret society, possibly immortal. They run the city from the shadows, have for centuries. Those marks mean you're in their territory. And that concerns us. Why? Because they eliminate threats, Nightwing said. And four-dimensional invaders. That's a threat. Movement caught Leo's eye. Fluid, professional, wrong. 3 figures emerged from shadows that should have been empty, dressed in tactical suits that absorbed light. Their masks were blank except for eye lenses that glowed amber in the darkness. Talons. Leo knew it before Nightwing said anything. Recognized the way they moved, calculated and predatory, like Foot Clan assassins but colder. Dead in all the ways that mattered. "Down!" Nightwing shouted. Throwing knives whistled through the space Leo's head had occupied a second before. He rolled, katanas clearing their sheaths in one smooth motion, came up in a defensive stance as the talons converged. They fought in absolute silence. The first talon came at Leo high, twin blades seeking his throat. Leo parried, redirected, struck for the knee, and his katana bounced off armor that shouldn't have been that strong. The talon didn't react to pain, didn't grunt, didn't flinch, just kept attacking with mechanical precision. "They're undead," Nightwing called out. Eskrima sticks crackling with electricity as he engaged 2 more. Court uses resurrection serum, keeps them alive and loyal beyond death. You can't kill what's already dead. Leo adapted instantly. If they couldn't be killed, they could be disabled. He switched tactics, targeting joints, breaking weapons, creating distance. His blade found the gap in the first talon's wrist armor, severing tendons that shouldn't have still worked. The hand went limp, but the talon kept fighting, switching to kicks that could shatter concrete. Donnie was already analyzing. Electrocution disrupts their motor functions. The serum relies on bioelectric impulses. Hit them with enough voltage and... His bow staff extended, revealing modifications Leo hadn't noticed. Electricity arced along its length as Donnie struck the wounded talon's chest. The creature convulsed, locked in place, systems overloaded. "Nice," Nightwing approved, dropping his 2 opponents with precisely placed strikes to their spinal columns. "But there's always more." Shadows rippled. 6 more talons emerged from the warehouse, moving with purpose. Behind them, a figure that made Leo's instincts scream danger. Older, dressed in formal attire from another century. Mask covering a face that had seen empires rise and fall. "William Cobb," Nightwing said quietly. "The court's greatest weapon. Dick Grayson's great-grandfather." "Your ancestor?" Donnie asked. "It's complicated," Nightwing said, tension radiating through his stance. "And not the time." William Cobb spoke, voice like dry leaves. "The Court of Owls has judged you. Dimensional anomalies, unknown entities, threat level, terminal." His head tilted, studying Leo with eyes that held centuries of murder. "You fight with honor. Wasted trait. Gotham rewards only survival." "We don't want conflict," Leo said carefully. "We're just trying to go home." "Home is where the court decides," Cobb replied. "And you have no home here." The Talons attacked as one. Across the city, in the East End, where desperation and violence had consummated their union and birthed hell, Raph walked beside Red Hood through streets that made Crime Alley look like a resort. "This is Black Mask's territory," Jason explained, voice filtered through his helmet. "Roman Sionis runs most of the organized crime in Gotham's underbelly. Torture enthusiast, control freak, faces his victims before killing them." "Sounds like a guy who needs stopping," Raph said. "Sounds like a guy who's needed stopping for years," Jason corrected. "But Batman won't cross that line, won't do what's necessary." They moved through an alley where 3 bodies lay cooling. Fresh kills, bullet wounds precise and professional. Jason didn't even slow down. "That bother you?" Raph asked, gesturing at the corpses. "Should it?" Jason countered. "They worked for Black Mask, probably killed dozens themselves. World's better without them." Raph considered this. Splinter's teachings echoed in his mind. All life is precious, even our enemies. But the pragmatic part of him, the part that had watched Shredder hurt innocent people again and again, understood Jason's logic. You ever regret it? Raph asked. The killing? Jason stopped, turned. Every single time. But regret doesn't bring back the people I could have saved if I'd acted sooner. Doesn't comfort the families who bury their children because someone was too principled to stop a monster permanently. Batman thinks. Batman's a billionaire playing dress-up, Jason interrupted. He can afford principles. The rest of us live in reality, where monsters don't get therapy and redemption arcs, where sometimes the only way to save the innocent is to kill the guilty. Raph felt something resonate in his chest. Recognition, maybe. Or temptation. My brothers wouldn't agree with you. Your brothers aren't you, Jason observed. I recognize rage, Raphael. Barely controlled violence wrapped in discipline. You're one bad day from crossing every line they've drawn. You don't know me. I know me, Jason said. And we're not that different. Gunfire erupted ahead. Automatic weapons screaming chaos. They ran toward it instinctively, found Black Mask's crew executing civilians in a warehouse. 20 armed men, 8 prisoners on their knees, execution-style murder as entertainment. Raph moved without thinking. His sigh found throats, armpits, eye sockets, disabling strikes that left men screaming but alive. Jason moved beside him, pistols barking, and Raph realized with sick clarity that every shot Jason fired was lethal. Clean headshots, heart strikes, kill shots that ended threats permanently. 15 seconds, 20 men down, 8 civilians saved. The last gunman stood trembling, weapon pointed at a child, maybe 10 years old, eyes wide with terror. Drop it, Raph commanded. The gunman's finger tightened on the trigger. Jason's gun was already raised. Your call, Turtle. Let me solve this or watch Batman's precious code get a kid killed. Raph looked at the child, looked at the gunman's finger on the trigger, looked at Jason's steady aim. Time crystallized. Drop the gun, Raph repeated. The gunman smiled, broken, mad. Black Mask gives his regards. Raph threw his sigh. The blade punched through the gunman's wrist, pinning his arm to the wall. The gun clattered to the floor. The child ran, sobbing, into the arms of another freed prisoner. Jason lowered his pistol. Impressive throw. Also stupid. That shot could have missed. He could have fired. Kid could be dead. But he's not, Raph said, retrieving his sigh from the wall in the gunman's screaming form. And I'm not a killer. Not yet, Jason said quietly. But Gotham's just getting started with you. Sirens approached. GCPD, too late as always. Jason gestured toward the rooftops. Come on, we've still got patrol to finish. As they climbed, Raph felt something shift inside him. A door opening that he'd kept locked. Jason was wrong. Had to be wrong. But Raph couldn't quite silence the voice asking, what if he's right? The Batcave's armory was a monument to paranoia and preparation. Mikey stood before glass cases containing equipment designed to stop gods, metahumans, and things that defied classification entirely. Kryptonite in lead-lined containers. Freeze weapons calibrated to absolute zero. Electrical dampeners rated for speed force disruption. Toxin countermeasures for every poison known to man and several known only to Gotham's particular brand of nightmare. This is insane, Mikey breathed, fingers hovering over a case containing batarangs, dozens of variations, each engineered for specific scenarios. You have a weapon for literally everything. Preparation prevents death, Batman said, standing behind him like a shadow given purpose. Every item here exists because someone died when I wasn't prepared. I don't repeat mistakes. Must be lonely, Mikey said quietly. Being ready for everything means trusting nothing. Batman's jaw tightened, the only indication Mikey's words had landed. Trust gets people killed in Gotham. Trust kept me and my brothers alive, Mikey countered, turning to face him. We're not soldiers, we're family. Leo leads because we follow. Donnie thinks because we listen. Raph fights because we back him up. And me? He shrugged. I'm the one who reminds them why we do this. Because if you can't laugh in the dark wins. The dark always wins in Gotham, Batman said. The only question is how many people you save before it takes you too. Alfred appeared carrying a tray with sandwiches that smelled like heaven. Master Bruce, wallowing while we have guests is poor form. Master Michelangelo, I've prepared sustenance. You've been in combat and dimensional transit. Your metabolism requires fuel. Mikey accepted a sandwich, bit into it, and nearly wept. This is amazing. What is this? Beef Wellington sandwich with truffle aioli, Alfred said. I assumed you'd appreciate something more refined than the pizza I understand you favor. I love pizza, Mikey said through a mouthful, but this is transcendent. You're like the splinter of cooking. High praise, I'm sure, Alfred said dryly. Sir, Oracle reports Argus ground teams have established a perimeter around the city's southeast quadrant. They're conducting systematic sweeps. It appears Ms. Waller is quite serious about locating our visitors. Batman moved to the computer, pulling up tactical displays. Mikey followed, still eating, watching as the Dark Knight analyzed patrol patterns, predicted movements, identified vulnerabilities in Waller's deployment. She's using a standard containment grid, Batman observed. 4 teams, each with metahuman capability. Probably Task Force X, expendable assets she can disavow if things go wrong. Expendable, Mikey repeated. That's cold. That's Amanda Waller, Batman said. She'll sacrifice anything to complete her mission, including her own people. The computer pinged, Oracle's voice cutting through. Bruce, we've got a situation. Arkham Asylum, multiple security breaches, simultaneous breakouts from maximum security wings. This isn't random. Someone coordinated this. Who's out? Batman demanded. Scarecrow, Poison Ivy, Two-Face, Mad Hatter? Oracle paused. And Joker. The temperature in the cave seemed to drop. Batman's hands gripped the console hard enough that Mikey heard knuckles crack. He's using the Turtles' arrival as cover, Batman said, voice like grinding stone. Creating chaos, drawing attention. Oracle, where? Citywide. It's not centralized. They're spreading out, hitting multiple targets. Scarecrow's releasing fear toxin in the financial district. Ivy's threatening the water supply. Two-Face is taking hostages at the courthouse. And Joker, Oracle's voice tightened. He's at Robinson Park, with civilians, families. Of course he is, Batman said quietly. Something in his tone made Mikey's shell itch. This wasn't just anger. This was something older. Something that tasted like failure and loss. I'm going, Batman said, already moving toward the Batmobile. I'm coming with you, Mikey said. No. Yeah, Mikey interrupted. Look, I get it. This Joker guy, he's your shredder. The one who gets under your skin, who makes you question everything, who hurts people you care about just to prove he can. We've fought that fight. So trust me when I say you don't go alone, because alone is when the monster wins. Batman stared at him, calculating, assessing. You don't understand what he is, what he does. Then show me, Mikey said, because if we're stuck in your universe, we need to understand your nightmares. Batman's expression didn't change, but something shifted. A decision made. Get in the vehicle. Follow my orders exactly. If you deviate, if you compromise the mission, I will remove you from the field. Clear? Crystal, Mikey said, climbing into the Batmobile. They launched from the cave like a missile, Gotham swallowing them into its neon-stained darkness. Robinson Park at night was beautiful in the way abandoned churches were beautiful. Haunted, melancholy, touched by grace that had long since fled. The trees were old growth. Survivors from before Gotham became the city of nightmares. Families came here during the day for picnics, for normalcy, for brief moments when the city pretended it wasn't dying. Now the park was a killing floor. Joker had set up in the central plaza, A macabre carnival, complete with spotlights powered by stolen generators. 40 civilians were bound in the gazebo, families huddled together, children crying. Around them, Joker's crew, thugs in clown masks, armed with weapons modified to be grotesque parodies of toys. And in the center, wearing a purple suit that had seen better decades, face painted white as bone with a smile literally carved into existence, was the clown prince of crime himself. "Batman!" Joker's voice carried across the park, amplified by speakers. "I knew you'd come. You always do. You wonderful, predictable, beautifully broken man, and you brought a friend. Is that a turtle? Is Batman partnering with reptiles now? The jokes write themselves." Batman landed silently on a tree branch above the plaza. Mikey dropped beside him, nunchaku ready, staring at the scene below with growing horror. "He's insane," Mikey whispered. "No," Batman corrected. "He's something worse. He's aware. He knows exactly what he's doing, why he's doing it, and he does it anyway because he finds it funny." Joker caressed the head of a crying child, maybe 6 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes wide with terror. "Here's the game, Batman. You've got 5 minutes to reach me before I start the entertainment. And by entertainment, I mean murder. So much murder. Starting with the children because you care about the children. And I care about making you hurt." Batman was already moving, cape spreading as he glided toward the plaza. Mikey followed, landing in shadows, watching as Batman engaged Joker's thugs with brutal efficiency. No wasted movement. Every strike calculated for maximum effect and minimum time. Mikey took the left flank, nunchaku blurring. These weren't trained fighters, just desperate men following a madman. He disarmed them, disabled them, left them groaning but alive. "Boring!" Joker shouted. "You're being boring, Batman. Where's the passion, the artistry, oh, hello there, turtle boy." Joker was suddenly right in front of Mikey, impossibly fast, knife appearing from nowhere. Mikey blocked instinctively, nunchaku catching the blade, but Joker was already moving, laughing, dancing away. A turtle, an actual turtle. Did you mutate in Gotham sewers? Are you Batman's new Robin? Does this mean birds are out and reptiles are in? I should talk to my decorator about snake motifs. "You're not funny," Mikey said. Joker's expression froze. Smile still fixed, but eyes going cold and hungry. "Not funny, not funny. Kid, I'm the punchline to every joke this city tells itself. I'm the laugh track to your suffering. I'm the comedian at civilization's funeral, and business is booming." He moved again, knife seeking Mikey's throat. Mikey dodged, swept Joker's legs, should have had him down. But Joker rolled with impossible grace. Came up still laughing. "You're fast. Good. This should be..." Batman hit him. Not a punch. A tackle. Pure momentum and rage driving Joker into the gazebo's support beam with force that splintered wood. Batman's fist rose and fell. Once, twice, 3 times. Each impact precise, controlled, but carrying weight that spoke of barely restrained fury. "Bruce!" Oracle's voice crackled through the cowl. "Vital signs. You're losing control." Batman stopped, fist hovering above Joker's face. The clown was bleeding, laughing through broken teeth, eyes bright with manic joy. "There he is," Joker whispered. "There's the real Batman, the one who wants to kill me so badly he dreams about it. Do it, Bats. End the joke. Prove you're just like me." Batman stood, leaving Joker bleeding in the wreckage. "Mikey, free the hostages, now!" Mikey moved, cutting bonds with precise strikes, ushering families away from the plaza. The child Joker had touched was sobbing, clinging to her mother. Mikey knelt beside her. "Hey," he said softly. "You're safe now. The bad clown can't hurt you anymore." "Is he dead?" the child asked. Mikey looked back at Joker, being restrained by Batman, still laughing, always laughing. "No, but he's going back to his cage. He'll escape again," the mother said bitterly. "He always does. And People like us, we're just jokes waiting for a punchline. Mikey had no answer for that. GCPD arrived, Commissioner Gordon leading, weathered face grim as he took custody of Joker and his crew. Batman stood apart, watching, ensuring the transfer went smoothly. "I heard you had visitors," Gordon said quietly. "Dimensional travelers. Waller's making noise about national security threats." "They're not threats," Batman said. "You trust them?" Batman looked at Mikey, who was making balloon animals from crime scene tape for the rescued children. "Making them laugh despite everything. I'm learning to." As they returned to the Batmobile, Mikey realized his hands were shaking, not from fear, from rage. That someone like Joker could exist, could hurt innocent people again and again, and the system would just let him. "Why don't you kill him?" Mikey asked. Batman's silence stretched for blocks before he answered. "Because the moment I cross that line, I become something else. Something Gotham needs to fear. And if Gotham fears Batman, it loses the only symbol it has left. Even if people die because you won't?" "Yes," Batman said. "Even then." Mikey thought about Splinter, about honor, about the burden of principles in a world that punished them. "I don't know if you're right," Mikey said quietly, "but I think I understand why you believe it." Batman nodded, just once. And in that moment, Mikey realized he'd earned something precious and rare in Gotham, respect from the Dark Knight himself. Leo's world became violence and precision. William Cobb moved like death perfected, centuries of murder compressed into a fighting style that transcended mere technique. Every strike carried the weight of history, every dodge calculated from patterns Leo's ancestors hadn't even invented yet. "You fight well," Cobb observed, deflecting Leo's katana with a wrist blade that hummed with unnatural resonance. Hamato clan techniques, refined, disciplined, useless against immortality. Leo didn't waste breath on response. Donnie was behind him, using modified electrical strikes to disable the lesser talons, buying time. Nightwing engaged 3 more, Eskrima sticks crackling. But they kept coming, emerging from shadows like cancer, metastasizing in darkness. Cobb struck faster than Leo could track fully. The blade opened his shoulder. Not deep, but precise. Leo rolled away, switching stance, acknowledging what his body already knew. He was outmatched. "Dick," Cobb said, addressing Nightwing without looking. "You've grown, improved, but you're still the boy who watched his parents fall, still afraid of heights, deep down, where trauma lives." "Shut up," Nightwing snarled, but Leo heard the tremor. Old wounds reopened. "The court offers purpose," Cobb continued, circling Leo. "Eternal purpose. Your skills preserved beyond death's limitation. No more aging, no more failure. Only perfection." "Hard pass on the undead gig," Leo said, feinting left, striking right. His blade found Cobb's ribs. Would have been a killing blow on anyone living. Cobb barely flinched. "Sentiment is weakness," Cobb replied, counter-striking. Leo's shell took the impact, ceramic blade scraping across bioengineered keratin. "The court has judged you. Dimensional anomalies threaten Gotham's order. You'll be eliminated or recruited. There is no third option." "There's always a third option," Donnie called out, slamming his electrified bow staff into a junction box on the warehouse wall. "It's called improvisation." Electricity exploded through the building's metal framework. Every talon within 30 feet seized, bioelectric systems overloading. Cobb staggered but didn't fall. Stronger, older, more resistant than his subordinates. "Run!" Nightwing shouted, grabbing Leo's arm. "The court has resources we can't match alone. We regroup." They ran, 3 figures racing across Gotham's rooftops with shadows giving chase. Behind them, Cobb's voice echoed. Calm, certain, inevitable. "The Court of Owls sees all, owns all. You cannot hide, you cannot escape. We are Gotham. Gotham is us." Oracle guided them to a safe house in Old Gotham. Industrial buildings scheduled for demolition, floors empty except for pigeons and forgotten dreams. They collapsed inside, breathing hard, adrenaline fading to reveal injuries. Leo's shoulder was bleeding sluggishly. Donnie's shell bore cracks from impacts. Nightwing was favoring his left side, where bruises were already forming. That, Donnie panted, was significantly worse than expected. Those talons, they're not just enhanced. They're basically biological machines running on necromancy. The court's been doing this for centuries, Nightwing said, pressing against his ribs and wincing. They recruit the best fighters, kill them, resurrect them with their serum, and bind them to eternal service. William Cobb was the greatest, trained in every fighting style known to man before he died. Now he's had over 100 years to perfect what he already mastered. So how do we beat him? Leo asked, examining his shoulder wound. Clean-cut, professional. Cobb had been testing him. You don't, Nightwing said flatly. Batman's fought Cobb 3 times, survived twice. The court only backs off when the cost exceeds their interest. We need to make you not worth the effort. Or we destroy the court, Leo suggested. Nightwing laughed, bitter and sharp. Yeah, good luck. They own judges, politicians, police chiefs. Half of Gotham's infrastructure exists because they allow it. You don't destroy the court. You survive them and hope they lose interest. Leo's communicator crackled, Batman's voice cutting through static. Status. Engaged by Court of Owls, Nightwing reported. William Cobb and a dozen talons. We withdrew. Leonardo's injured but operational. Return to the cave, now! Batman's tone carried urgency Leo hadn't heard before. We have a bigger problem. Sawanai. The Batcave felt smaller with everyone gathered. Leo, Donnie, and Nightwing arrived to find Mikey sitting with haunted eyes, Raph bleeding from a dozen shallow cuts, Jason cleaning his pistols with mechanical precision, and Batman standing before tactical displays that painted nightmares in colored light. What happened? Leo demanded, moving to Raph. His brother's knuckles were split. Sai coated in blood that wasn't his. Saved civilians from Black Mask's crew, Raph said quietly. Jason wanted me to kill them. I didn't. But it was close, Leo. Closer than it should have been. Leo gripped his shoulder, feeling the tension radiating through his brother's body. You held the line. That's what matters. For how long? Raph whispered. Batman interrupted before Leo could respond. Argus has escalated. Waller's deployed Task Force X. Full squad. Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, Captain Boomerang, and Katana. They're converging on this location. How? Donnie asked. We have mystical camouflage. The cave's shielded. Waller has access to Brother Eye satellite data, Oracle reported through the speakers. Military surveillance network that tracks metahuman signatures globally. Constantine's spell helped, but nothing's invisible to Brother Eye. She's been tracking you since Crime Alley. Then we fight, Raph said, standing. Take them down. Show Waller we're not pushovers. Task Force X isn't the problem, Batman said. They're the distraction. He brought up new data, energy readings that made Donnie's eyes widen. The dimensional rift's degrading faster than Constantine predicted. Not 72 hours, more like 12. And it's not just destabilizing, it's pulling. Pulling what? Leo asked. Constantine materialized from a transport circle, coat singed, face pale. Everything. I've been monitoring the rift from the mystical side. It's developed appetite. Started small, loose papers, dust, ambient energy. But it's accelerating. Give it another few hours, and it'll start pulling larger matter, buildings, people, concepts. Concepts? Mikey repeated. Ideas made manifest, Constantine said, pulling out his flask and discovering it empty. Your universe and ours bleeding together. Could manifest as anything, villains from your world appearing here, heroes from here ending up there, physical laws rewriting themselves mid-application. Reality starts forgetting which rules apply where. "Can we close it?" Leo demanded. "Not without a power source," Constantine said. "The rift's anchored to U4, specifically to Leonardo's mystic energy. To collapse it from this side requires equivalent energy. Either Leo sacrifices himself—" "Not happening," Raph interrupted. "Or we find an alternative power source strong enough to substitute. Something with mystic resonance, dimensional stability, and enough raw force to punch through the barrier." "The Lazarus Pit," Jason said quietly. Everyone turned to him. "Ra's al Ghul's resurrection pool. It's mystical, dimensionally significant, and powerful enough to bring people back from death." "Would that work?" Constantine considered. "Theoretically, yes. Lazarus energy could substitute for Leo's life force, but Ra's al Ghul would never allow it." Batman finished. "The Lazarus Pit is his most guarded resource. He'd kill everyone in this cave before letting us use it." "Unless we take it by force," Jason suggested. "Or negotiate," Leo countered. "Where is he?" "Nanda Parbat," Batman said. "His fortress in the Himalayas." "Fortress is the wrong word. It's a city. Fortified, defended by the League of Assassins' best fighters, booby-trapped with centuries of accumulated defenses." "So we break in," Raph said. "We've done impossible before." "You've never faced Ra's al Ghul," Batman said. "He's lived for centuries, mastered every martial art known to man, and commands loyalty from the deadliest killers on Earth. Even if you reach the pit, he'd make you earn it with blood." "Then we pay in blood," Leo said simply. "What's the alternative? Let both universes collapse? Let innocent people die because we were afraid of one man?" Batman studied Leo for a long moment. "You remind me of someone I used to know. Someone who believed conviction could overcome any obstacle." "What happened to him?" Leo asked. "He died," Batman said flatly. "Killed by Joker, because he was right, and the universe punished him for it." The cave fell silent except for water dripping and computer systems humming. "I'll make contact with Ra's," Batman finally said. "See if negotiation is possible, but prepare for combat. If we do this, we do it as a coordinated strike. Bat Family Constantine and U4. Against the League of Assassins, in their home territory, with the fate of two universes hanging in the balance." "Sounds like Tuesday," Mikey said weakly. Alarms shrieked, Oracle's voice cutting through. "They're here. Task Force X just breached the cave's outer defenses. ETA 2 minutes to primary chamber." Batman moved to the armory, weapons appearing in his hands like magic. "Nightwing, east approach. Batgirl west. Red Hood, central with me. Oracle, guide them." He turned to the Turtles. "You 4 hold the vehicle bay. Non-lethal if possible, but these are criminals with nothing to lose. They'll kill you without hesitation." Leo drew his katanas, felt his brothers fall into formation around him. Leo leading, Raph flanking, Donnie analyzing, Mikey supporting. The way they'd fought 1,000 battles before. "Together?" Mikey asked quietly. "Together," Leo confirmed. The Suicide Squad was coming. The Court of Owls was hunting them. Ra's al Ghul waited in his fortress with ancient malice. The dimensional rift was collapsing, and 4 brothers from another world prepared to fight for the right to go home. The Suicide Squad entered the Batcave like a plague given form. Professional, brutal, and utterly without mercy. Deadshot came first, mask tracking targets with computerized precision, wrist-mounted guns already calculating kill shots. Harley Quinn cartwheeled behind him, pigtails bouncing, gigabytes of psychological damage hidden behind bubblegum pop insanity. Killer Croc emerged from the shadows, 8 feet of reptilian rage, muscles built for tearing rather than thinking. Captain Boomerang flanked wide, trick boomerang spinning in practiced hands, and Katana brought up the rear, soul-stealing blade soul-taker drawn and hungry. "Well, well, well," Harley chirped, pulling out her oversized mallet. "Turtles! Like the cute ones in pet stores, but bigger and way more likely to give me a concussion. This is gonna be fun. Targets acquired, Deadshot announced. His mask's HUD painting red crosshairs over each turtle. Waller wants them alive. She didn't say intact. Leo's katanas caught the cave's dim light. We don't want to fight you. Good thing what you want don't matter, Croc rumbled, claws flexing. I get paid either way. And bonus points if I get to eat turtle soup. They attacked. Deadshot's wrists erupted. Not bullets, but tranquilizer darts. High-dose sedatives calculated for unknown physiology. Leo moved, katanas deflecting darts with precision that bordered on prescient. Raph charged Croc head-on, Sai meeting claws in a clash that echoed through the cave like thunder. Donnie engaged Boomerang, bow staff spinning to intercept projectiles that curved impossibly through air. Mikey faced Harley, nunchaku meeting mallet in impacts that sent shockwaves through his arms. Katana circled, waiting, blade whispering promises of death in Japanese. You're fast, Deadshot observed, recalibrating his targeting systems. Faster than baseline human. Enhanced reflexes, probably mutant physiology. Let's test durability. His wrists shifted, tranquilizers replaced by actual bullets. High caliber, armor piercing. He fired. Leo dodged, but barely. The rounds chewed through stone where his head had been. I thought you wanted us alive! Waller wants you functional, Deadshot corrected. Didn't specify how many limbs you needed. He fired again, pattern recognition software predicting Leo's movements. But Leo wasn't fighting alone. Batman dropped from above, cape spreading like Judgment's wings, boots connecting with Deadshot's head in a kick that would have decapitated normal men. Deadshot rolled with it, came up firing, but Batman was already gone. Smoke pellet detonating, filling the cave with obscuring clouds. Oracle, Batman commanded through the chaos. Lights. The Batcave went dark. Absolute darkness. The kind that existed before light was invented. The Suicide Squad was trained, but the Bat family owned this darkness. Had been born in it, raised in it, weaponized it. Leo felt rather than saw Nightwing move past him, taking katana in close quarters combat that sang with blade against stick. Red Hood's pistols barked, rubber bullets this time, targeting joints and pressure points with surgical accuracy. Batgirl swept Boomerang's legs, following with strikes that left him gasping. Night vision, you idiots! Harley shouted, her voice carrying manic edge. Turn on your... Donnie's EMP pulse detonated. Every electronic device within 50 feet died. Deadshot's targeting computer, Harley's phone, Waller's communication feed, the bomb collars. Wait, the bomb collars. Oh crap, Donnie said into sudden silence. Emergency lights flickered on, painting the cave in blood-red illumination. The Suicide Squad stood frozen, hands reaching for necks where explosive devices no longer beeped with active status. You killed our collars, Boomerang said slowly, disbelief and hope warring in his voice. You actually killed the bloody collars. Waller can't track us, Harley whispered. Can't detonate us, can't... She started laughing, genuine, unhinged. Free. We're free! Croc's roar shook the cave. Not aggression, liberation. No more leash, no more threats, no more dying for that witch's missions. Deadshot lowered his weapons, mask fixed on Batman. This changes things. Does it? Batman asked quietly. You're still criminals, still killers. The collars didn't make you what you are. They just controlled when you could express it. But now we got choices, Deadshot said. And my choice is walking away from this job. Waller can shove her mission. His mask's emergency backup system flickered to life. Ah, hell! Waller's voice cut through speakers in each squad member's gear. Cold, controlled, furious. I can remotely reactivate the collars, kill you all from orbit if I choose, but I'm feeling generous. Bring me those turtles in the next 30 minutes, or I'll activate Protocol Omega. Bombs planted in your loved ones' homes, your daughter Deadshot, your brother Boomerang, everyone you've ever cared about goes up in fire. Your choice. Silence crashed through the cave like a physical force. Well, Boomerang said bitterly, guess we're back to being slaves. Leo watched Deadshot's body language shift, resignation settling over tactical assessment. These weren't monsters. They were people trapped in impossible circumstances, forced to choose between their own damnation and the deaths of innocents. What if there was another way? Leo asked. There isn't, Deadshot said. Waller doesn't bluff. She'll do it. Then we stop her, Leo said simply. You help us close the dimensional rift. We help you take down Waller. Break her hold on you permanently. You're insane, Katana said, speaking for the first time. Waller has government backing, military resources, contingencies for every scenario. She's untouchable. So was the Shredder, Raph said, stepping forward. So was Krang. So was every nightmare we've faced. We won because we didn't fight alone. Because we found allies in unexpected places. He looked at Croc. You're a monster in their eyes. So are we. Maybe monsters should stick together. Croc studied Raph with eyes that held more intelligence than his appearance suggested. You mean that? Or is this manipulation? I don't manipulate, Raph said. I hit things and occasionally regret my life choices. But I know what it's like to be seen as a freak. To have people fear what you are instead of who you are. You want to stay Waller's weapon, fine. But we're offering something different. Harley had stopped laughing, studying the turtles with calculating madness. What's your plan, shell boy? Waller's got 30 minutes on the clock. We give her what she wants, Donnie said, already working on his scanner. Or rather, what she thinks she wants. I can spoof dimensional signatures, make her think she's captured us while we're infiltrating Nanda Parbat. Batman finished, understanding clicking. Using the distraction to reach Ra's al Ghul. It's risky. It's the only play we have, Leo said. You said 12 hours before reality collapse. We don't have time for caution. He turned to Deadshot. You're the strategist. Will it work? Deadshot was quiet for a long moment, mask processing variables. Depends. How good is your tech guy? I rebuilt a T-phone from scratch using alien technology and a broken Nintendo DS, Donnie said. I'm very good. Then we have a chance, Deadshot decided. Slim, suicidal, but a chance. He looked at his team. Your call. We follow Waller's orders and stay alive as her slaves, or we risk everything for a shot at freedom. I'm in, Harley said immediately. Anything that makes Waller mad makes me happy. Could use a good fight, Croc rumbled. Tired of easy missions. Hell with it, Boomerang sighed. Been wanting to visit the Himalayas anyway. Katana remained silent, then nodded once. The souls in my blade hunger for those who deserve death. The League of Assassins qualifies. Batman's jaw tightened. Ra's al Ghul is not someone you fight casually. Even with combined forces, casualties are likely. Probable. Then we make sure they're worth it, Leo said. Red Hood laughed, sharp and bitter. Never thought I'd see Batman team up with literal turtles and the Suicide Squad to break into Ra's fortress. This is either the stupidest plan in history or the most brilliant. Why not both? Mikey suggested. Alfred appeared carrying weapons, batarangs, explosives, medical supplies, enough equipment to wage small wars. I've prepared tactical gear for everyone. Master Bruce, the Batwing is fueled and ready. Flight time to Nanda Parbat is approximately 7 hours. We don't have 7 hours, Donnie said. But if I can tap into Brother Eye's satellite network, redirect some of its surveillance capacity, I might be able to buy us a few hours delay on the rift collapse. Brother Eye's encrypted with military-grade protection, Oracle said through speakers. Good thing I'm military-grade smart, Donnie countered. He's also incredibly humble, Mikey added. Plans crystallized, alliances formed. Batman coordinated with Oracle, laying out approach vectors and assault patterns. Nightwing prepped the Batwing. Jason loaded weapons with the kind of focus that came from preparation for violence. Deadshot calculated optimal firing positions. Harley inventoried explosives with disturbing enthusiasm. And Leo watched it all, feeling the weight of leadership that Splinter had taught him to carry. Two universes hung in balance. His brothers' lives, innocent people in both worlds who would die if they failed. "You ready for this?" Raph asked quietly, appearing beside him. "No," Leo admitted. "But since when has that stopped us?" Raph grinned, fierce and loyal. "Since never." They moved to join the others, 4 brothers from another world, preparing to storm a fortress defended by immortal assassins, to negotiate with a centuries-old demon, to save realities that barely knew they existed. "One question," Mikey said as they boarded the Batwing. "Does Ra's al Ghul have a sense of humor? Because if not, this is going to be really awkward when I try to lighten the mood with turtle puns." "He doesn't," Batman said flatly. "Challenge accepted," Mikey replied. The Batwing's engines roared to life, powerful enough to shatter windows, refined enough to slip through radar like a ghost. Gotham fell away beneath them, city of nightmares receding as they climbed toward the stratosphere. Ahead lay the Himalayas, Nanda Parbat, Ra's al Ghul, and the League of Assassins. And somewhere beyond all of it, home. The Himalayas cut the sky like God's teeth, ancient, merciless, indifferent to the audacity of mortals who dared climb them. The Batwing descended through clouds thick as funeral shrouds, revealing Nanda Parbat below, a fortress city carved into the mountain itself. Architecture that predated most civilizations, walls that had withstood centuries of siege and betrayal. "Beautiful," Donnie breathed, pressing against the viewport. The engineering alone, cantilevered structures supporting buildings that shouldn't be possible with medieval technology. There's something else at work here, magic maybe, or ancient sciences we've lost. "It's a tomb dressed as a palace," Batman said, piloting with absolute precision. "Raz has turned Nanda Parbat into a monument to his own immortality. Every stone is soaked in blood. Every corridor holds secrets that would break lesser minds." The Batwing landed on a plateau 3 miles from the fortress, close enough to approach on foot, far enough to avoid immediate detection. They disembarked into air so cold it burned lungs, wind screaming across peaks that had never known warmth. Leo's team stood ready. His brothers, the Bat family, the Suicide Squad, and Constantine chain-smoking to ward off altitude sickness. 17 warriors against a fortress defended by hundreds. "Right," Constantine said, breath misting. "I've placed mystical markers along our approach route. Should confuse their detection spells, buy us maybe 20 minutes before they realize we're here. After that, all hell breaks loose." "What's the internal layout?" Deadshot asked. Scope already scanning the fortress. Batman projected a hologram from his gauntlet, 3-dimensional schematic of Nanda Parbat's interior. "The Lazarus Pit is in the deepest chamber, 3 levels below ground, heavily defended. Guards rotate every 4 hours. We're hitting them mid-shift, maximum confusion." "And Raz himself?" Katana asked, hand on Soul Taker's hilt. "We'll know we're coming the moment we breach the perimeter," Batman said. "He'll let us penetrate deep, test our capabilities, then strike when we're committed. It's how he operates. Turn your momentum into your own destruction." "So we don't give him that chance," Leo said, studying the hologram. "We split into 3 teams. Team 1, distraction at the main gate, draw their forces. Team 2, infiltration through the eastern wall's weak point here." He pointed. "Team 3, direct assault on the pit chamber once teams 1 and 2 have split their attention." "I'll lead the distraction," Raph volunteered immediately. "Take Croc, Boomerang, and Red Hood. We'll make enough noise to wake the dead." Literally, in this case, Jason noted. Raz has been known to resurrect his best fighters mid-battle. Nothing says committed to victory like killing a guy twice. "I'll handle infiltration," Nightwing said. "Take Donnie, Batgirl, and Katana. We're the quiet ones. Get in, disable security, create confusion from within." "Which leaves assault," Leo said. Me, Mikey, Batman, Deadshot, Harley, and Constantine. We hit the pit chamber hard and fast. I love it when a plan involves hitting things, Harley said cheerfully, twirling her mallet. Makes me feel useful and violent. Best combination. They moved through snow that had never been touched by human footsteps, approaching Nanda Parbat like wolves stalking sleeping prey. Constantine's spells held. No alarms, no arrows from hidden positions, no immediate response. Too quiet. He knows, Batman said. He's letting us come. Then we don't disappoint him, Leo replied. They reached the perimeter. Massive walls carved from mountain stone, gates sealed with mechanisms that combined medieval engineering with modern paranoia. Raph's team peeled off, circling toward the main entrance. Nightwing's team disappeared into shadows, searching for their entry point. Leo's assault team held position, waiting. 30 seconds, Nightwing reported through comms. Security systems are weird. They're mechanical but respond to mystical input. Donnie's working on it. Make it fast, Batman said. We're exposed here. The gate exploded. Not from Nightwing's team. From inside. Debris rained down as the massive doors burst outward, propelled by force that defied physics. Through the smoke walked a figure in green and gold robes, beard streaked with gray, eyes holding centuries of accumulated malice and wisdom. Ra's al Ghul. Batman, he said, voice carrying across the plateau like judgment. You bring an army to my doorstep. How predictable. And yet, you've included interesting new elements. His gaze swept over the turtles. Dimensional travelers. How fascinating. The multiverse continues to offer such delightful surprises. Behind him, the League of Assassins emerged. 50 warriors, each a master in their own right, each loyal unto death and beyond. Lady Shiva walked at Ra's right hand, moving with grace that promised murder. Talia al Ghul flanked his left, beauty and danger wrapped in silk and steel. We need the Lazarus Pit, Batman said directly, to close a dimensional rift threatening both our reality and theirs. Give us access and we leave peacefully. Ra's laughed, genuine, delighted, peacefully. Oh, detective, you've always possessed such wonderful optimism despite all evidence to the contrary. The Lazarus Pit is mine, has been for centuries. I do not loan out immortality to strangers, regardless of their dimensional origin. Then we take it, Leo said, katanas singing as they cleared their sheaths. There it is, Ra's approved. Honest violence. I respect that. He gestured, and the League advanced. Show me what you've learned, Batman. Show me if these new allies are worthy of the demon's attention. The battle began. Raph's team hit the eastern flank. Croc's roar announcing their arrival. Red Hood's pistols barking. Boomerang's projectiles curving through impossible angles. Assassins swarmed them, blades flashing in mountain sunlight. Nightwing's infiltration team abandoned stealth, engaging from within the fortress walls. Batgirl's strikes were precise, targeting pressure points and joints. Katana's blade sang its soul-stealing song, and assassins fell before her with expressions of existential terror. Leo's assault team drove straight through the center. Deadshot's targeting was superhuman. Every shot found gaps in armor, joints in defenses, creating openings his team exploited. Harley moved like weaponized chaos, mallet crushing bones and dreams with equal enthusiasm. Constantine threw mystical barriers that bought precious seconds. And Leo faced Lady Shiva. She moved like water flowing uphill. Impossible, elegant, lethal. Her strikes came from angles Leo's training hadn't covered, speeds his reflexes struggled to match. She was everything Splinter had been and more. Perfection achieved through absolute dedication to the art of murder. Hamato clan, she observed, deflecting his katana with her bare hand. Respectable lineage, but incomplete. Your master taught you honor when he should have taught you victory. Leo didn't waste breath arguing. Shifted stances, flowing from Hamato techniques into improvisation born from years fighting aliens and dimension-hopping warlords. Not cleaner than Shiva, not more technical, but unpredictable. It bought him seconds. Sometimes seconds were enough. Batman engaged 3 assassins simultaneously, Cape becoming a weapon that confused, concealed, created opportunities. Each movement was economic, precise, devastating. This was Batman in his element. Outnumbered, outgunned, and absolutely in control. Mikey found himself facing Talia al Ghul. She fought with her father's skill refined through her own innovations. Sword and strategy combined into something beautiful and terrifying. "You fight with joy," she observed, almost curious. "Even here, even facing death, you smile. Why?" "Because if I don't laugh," Mikey said, nunchaku catching her blade, "the darkness wins. And I've seen darkness. It's overrated." For a moment, just a moment, Talia smiled back. "Perhaps you're right." Then she nearly killed him. Donnie and Nightwing breached the inner sanctum, racing through corridors designed to confuse and kill. Traps activated, poison darts, collapsing floors, walls that tried to crush them. Donnie's scanner worked overtime, predicting mechanisms through analysis of ancient engineering principles. "Left!" Donnie shouted. They went left. The corridor behind them exploded in flames. "The pit's close," Nightwing panted. "I can feel it. Temperature rising, air getting denser. We're almost—" Ra's was waiting. Not at the main battle. Here, in the corridor, alone. "Did you think I would leave my most precious resource undefended?" Ra's asked. "That I would allow dimensional refugees to steal centuries of accumulated power?" He drew his sword. Ancient, perfectly maintained edge that had tasted king's blood. "Come then, prove yourselves worthy of the prize you seek." Nightwing and Donnie attacked together. Nightwing's acrobatics, Donnie's technical precision, both working in concert. It wasn't enough. Ra's had fought before either was born, had mastered techniques their ancestors hadn't invented, had refined murder into high art. He drove them back with contemptuous ease. "Inadequate," Ra's declared. "You bring numbers but lack the fundamental requirement, the willingness to sacrifice everything for victory." "Then let me show you sacrifice," Leo said, arriving with blood on his katanas and determination in his eyes. Ra's expression shifted, calculation becoming genuine interest. "The leader, the one carrying your team's weight. Yes, you understand, don't you? The burden of command, the necessity of hard choices." They fought in silence. No banter, no philosophy, just steel meeting steel in corridors built for secrets. Leo poured everything Splinter had taught him into each strike. Every block, all of it distilled into this singular moment. Ra's matched him perfectly, then exceeded him. Leo's katana flew from his hand, clattering into darkness. Ra's blade pressed against his throat. "You fight well," Ra's acknowledged, "but well is insufficient against immortal mastery. Give me one reason I shouldn't kill you now and let your universe collapse." "Because," Leo said, meeting his gaze without fear. "You're curious. You want to see if we can actually do it. Close a dimensional rift, save 2 universes, accomplish the impossible." Ra's smile was sharp as his blade. "Clever, but curiosity is not sufficient currency for immortality's gift." "Then take this," Raph's voice cut through. He stood at the corridor's end. Say pointed at his own throat. "You want a life for the pit's use? Take mine instead of his. Let my brother close the rift, save both worlds, then kill me if you want. That's the trade." "Raph, no," Leo started. "It's always been my choice to make," Raph interrupted. "You're the leader, the one who holds us together. I'm just the muscle, the expendable one. So let me be expendable for something that matters." Ra's studied Raph with something approaching respect. Loyalty unto death. How refreshing. In an age of betrayal and selfish ambition, you offer genuine sacrifice. He lowered his blade from Leo's throat. "Very well. I accept your terms." "Wait," Batman said, emerging from the battle above. "There's another way." Batman stood in the corridor, cowl damaged, cape torn, bleeding from a dozen wounds that would have killed lesser men. Behind him, the sounds of battle continued, steel against steel, screams of pain and fury, the grinding machinery of war consuming everything in its path. "Another way," Roz repeated, amused despite the chaos. "Do tell, Detective. I'm always interested in your creative problem solving." "The Lazarus Pit doesn't just restore life," Batman said. "It's a dimensional anchor, a point where multiple realities intersect. That's why it works. It's not magic or science. It's both, existing simultaneously across quantum states." He looked at Donnie. "You said the rift requires equivalent mystical energy to Leo's life force. But what if we don't substitute? What if we amplify?" Donnie's eyes widened. "Use the pit as a resonance chamber. Leo provides the base frequency. The pit amplifies it through dimensional harmonics. And we channel the combined energy into collapsing the rift from both sides simultaneously." He pulled out his scanner, fingers flying. "It could work. The math is insane, but it tracks. We'd need Constantine to stabilize the mystical component, Batman to manage the technological interface, and Leo to nearly die," Constantine finished, appearing through a transport circle. His coat was smoking, face pale. The pit would drain him to near death, use his energy as a catalyst, then restore him as the feedback loop completes. Theoretically, he survives. Theoretically. Theoretically, Mikey's voice cracked. "That's not good enough." "It's what we have," Constantine said. "The alternative is watching both universes eat each other while we debate semantics." Roz sheathed his sword, decision made. "Fascinating. Use my pit as a dimensional weapon while preserving the sacrifice's life. Elegant, efficient, precisely the kind of solution that makes you so dangerous, Detective." He gestured toward the chamber beyond. "Very well, proceed, but know this: if you damage my pit, if you disrupt its balance, I will hunt each of you across dimensions until entropy itself dies." "Understood," Batman said. They descended into the pit chamber, a cavern that predated human civilization, walls carved with symbols that hurt to perceive directly. At the center lay the Lazarus Pit itself, glowing green liquid that bubbled with energy, both inviting and horrifying. The air was thick with ozone and possibility. "Oracle," Batman said into his comm. "Patch in the Batcave's dimensional sensors. I need real-time monitoring of the rift's stability." "Online," Oracle responded. "Bruce, the rift's critical. You have maybe 10 minutes before cascade failure. After that, nothing stops it." "Then we work fast," Batman said, pulling equipment from his utility belt. Cables, sensors, processing units. Technology that shouldn't interface with ancient mysticism, but would because Batman made it work. Constantine drew symbols around the pit with chalk made from ground saints' bones and demon ash. "Right. Leo, stripped to essentials. The pit doesn't care about modesty, it cares about direct contact with flesh and spirit." Leo removed his gear, weapons laid aside, standing in just his wraps. His brothers gathered close, worry radiating from them like heat. "If this doesn't work," Mikey started. "It works," Leo interrupted. "It has to. Too many people are counting on us." He looked at each brother. "Raph, you lead if I don't make it back. Donnie, you're the brain. Use it. Mikey, keep them laughing. Keep them human." "You're coming back," Raph said flatly. "That's an order." Leo smiled. "Since when do you give the orders?" "Since now, so don't make me break it in." Leo approached the pit, Constantine guiding him. "The water will hurt, burn, feel like every cell is being ripped apart and rebuilt. Your mind will fracture. See things, experience deaths you never died, lives you never lived. Hold on to who you are. Hold on to why you're doing this." "I'm doing this for my brothers," Leo said simply. for everyone in both universes who deserves to see tomorrow. He stepped into the pit. The water was agony incarnate, liquid fire that consumed flesh and soul simultaneously. Leo screamed, couldn't help it, feeling his mystic energy being pulled out through every pore. The pit drank him greedily, ancient magic recognizing dimensional resonance and feeding on it like a starving beast. Constantine's hands wove patterns, golden light binding the energy, directing it. Batman's equipment tracked the flow, measuring quantum states, stabilizing feedback loops that threatened to explode. Donnie worked alongside him, jury-rigging alien technology to interface with Wayne tech, creating a bridge between universes that shouldn't exist. "The rift's responding," Oracle reported. "Energy reading spiking. It's collapsing inward, pulling matter back through. Wait, there's something else. Something's using the rift. Coming through from the other side." "What?" Batman demanded. Through the dimensional tear, visible now as it collapsed, something massive emerged. Not one figure. 3, 4, more. Silhouettes that Leo recognized even through his agony. The Foot Clan, led by a familiar figure in demon armor. Super Shredder. "No," Donnie breathed. "The rift's pulling through conceptual anchors, our greatest threats manifesting in response to closure. It's a defense mechanism." Super Shredder landed in Nanda Parbat with force that cracked ancient stone. Behind him, foot ninjas, Krang tech soldiers, mutants. Leo had fought and beaten but never fully destroyed. The dimensional rift had reached across realities and pulled their nightmares into DC's world as a final act of survival. "Turtles?" Shredder's voice was gravel and hatred given sound. "You thought you could escape me? Run to another universe? I am inevitable. I am eternal. And now I will kill you in front of heroes who cannot save you." The League of Assassins turned to face this new threat. Dimensional invaders from a reality they'd never imagined. Ra's al Ghul studied Shredder with clinical interest. "Impressive," Ra's observed. "Dimensional entity manifested through conceptual resonance. This grows more interesting by the moment." "Interesting?" Shredder laughed. "I am your extinction." They clashed. League of Assassins against Foot Clan. Centuries of martial perfection against mutant-enhanced ninjutsu. Batman's carefully controlled violence against Shredder's berserker rage. And Leo burned in the pit, holding onto consciousness by threads of will. "Stay with us!" Constantine shouted. "Just 30 more seconds. The energy's almost sufficient." Raph, Donnie, and Mikey formed defensive positions around the pit, protecting their brother as he sacrificed himself. Shredder saw them, roared, charged through assassins like they were paper. "You're mine!" Shredder bellowed. Raph met him head-on. Sai against demon claws, rage against rage. They'd fought before, always with Raph on the losing end. But here, now, with his brother dying in mystical fire, Raph found strength he didn't know existed. "Not today," Raph snarled, driving Shredder back through sheer fury. Donnie's bow staff crackled with electricity stolen from Batman's equipment, striking foot ninjas with precision that left them convulsing. Mikey moved like water, nunchaku flowing, defending his brothers because that's what he did. That's what he'd always done. Lady Shiva fought alongside them, temporary alliance born from mutual threat. "Your technique improves under pressure," she noted, decapitating a Krang drone. "Perhaps there's hope for you yet." "Thanks," Donnie said, uncertain if that was compliment or threat. The dimensional rift screamed, reality itself protesting as it collapsed. Constantine's spell reached critical point. Batman's technology synchronized, and Leo's life force channeled through the pit became a weapon of cosmic scale. "Now," Constantine shouted. Batman triggered the sequence. Energy erupted from the pit. Not just mystical, not just technological, but something new. Fusion of science and magic, powered by sacrifice, directed by will. It shot upward through Nanda Parbat's roof, through atmosphere, into space where the dimensional tear hung like a wound in existence. The rift collapsed, violently, catastrophically, beautiful. It pulled everything back, foot ninjas, Krang drones, weapons and technology that didn't belong. Shredder fought against it, claws digging into stone, bellowing defiance as dimensional forces stronger than his will dragged him home. "This isn't over," Shredder roared. "I'll find you again, He vanished, consumed by the collapsing rift, pulled back into his own universe, denied his revenge by forces beyond even his understanding. The rift sealed, reality stabilized, two universes separate again, each intact and whole. Leo floated in the pit, unconscious, barely breathing. Constantine's spell completed its circuit, feedback loop restoring what had been taken, Lazarus energy pouring life back into a body that had given everything. Leo's eyes opened, glowing green for a moment before fading to normal. He gasped, drawing breath that burned like redemption. "Did it work?" he whispered. "You insane, self-sacrificing brilliant turtle," Raph said, tears cutting through the grime on his face. "Of course it worked, because you never quit, never have, never will." Batman helped Leo from the pit, wrapping him in thermal blankets. "The rift's closed. Both universes are stable. You did it." Ra's al Ghul observed from his throne, expression unreadable. Fascinating display. Dimensional engineering through mystical sacrifice. "You've given me much to consider, Detective. And you." He focused on Leo. "You possess something I've spent centuries seeking. The willingness to die for ideals while maintaining the wisdom to survive. Perhaps mortality has advantages I've forgotten." "Does this mean we can leave?" Mikey asked hopefully. "It means I won't kill you," Raz said. "Today. But cross me again, and immortality grants me patience you cannot outlast." "We'll take it," Leo said weakly. They limped from Nanda Parbat, battered, bleeding, victorious. The Suicide Squad had vanished during the chaos, using the distraction to disappear into the mountains. Smart. Deadshot had left a single bullet on the Batwing's pilot seat. Message received and understood. The flight back to Gotham was quiet. Exhaustion settled over them like weighted blankets. Leo dozed against Raph's shoulder. Donnie ran final calculations, confirming dimensional stability. Mikey stared out the viewport at clouds that looked the same in every universe. "We saved two worlds," Mikey said quietly. "And nobody will ever know." "We know," Batman said. "That's enough." Gotham welcomed them back with rain. Cold, persistent, washing blood and regret down storm drains that had seen worse. The Batcave felt different now, less like a tomb and more like a sanctuary. Alfred had prepared medical stations, hot food, and the kind of quiet understanding that only came from decades serving heroes who bled for strangers. "Your injuries are extensive but manageable," Alfred said, cleaning the wound on Leo's shoulder with gentle precision. "The Lazarus Pit's healing accelerated your recovery, but you'll need rest. Proper rest, not the kind where you patrol anyway and call it recuperation." "Yes, sir," Leo said, too exhausted to argue. Oracle's voice came through the speakers, warm with relief. "Dimensional readings are stable. The rift sealed completely. No residual tears, no quantum fluctuations. Whatever you did, it worked. Both universes are intact." Constantine materialized through a transport circle, looking worse than when he'd left. Coat more burned, face more haggard, flask finally refilled. Confirmed from the mystical side. The dimensional membrane is scarred but healed. You-lot pulled off the impossible, again, starting to make a habit of that. "Is there a way back?" Donnie asked, the question they'd all been avoiding. "To our universe? Our New York?" Constantine grimaced. "Not immediately. The rift collapsed specifically because of your energy signature. Trying to reopen it would be like picking at a wound that just closed. Give it time. Few months, maybe a year. The scar tissue will weaken, and I can punch through safely without triggering another cascade. A year? Mikey's voice cracked. We're stuck here for a year. Could be worse, Jason said, cleaning his pistols at the workbench. Could be permanent, could be dead. Year in Gotham? That's survivable. Barely. He's not wrong, Nightwing added. And you've proven yourselves. The Court of Owls saw you fight. They'll back off, at least temporarily. Waller lost the Suicide Squad and gained nothing. Ra's al Ghul respects you, which in his language means he'll only try to kill you on special occasions. You've earned a place here, if you want it. Batman stood before the massive computer display, Gotham's crime map spreading like a disease across multiple screens. Red markers indicated active incidents, 3 homicides, 2 gang wars, a meta-human attack in progress. Arkham Security reporting another escape attempt. Gotham never stops, Batman said. The moment you save one person, 10 more need saving. The moment you stop one crime, 20 more are being planned. It's endless, exhausting, necessary. He turned to face the Turtles. You're not from this world, didn't choose to come here. But you fought for it anyway. Protected people who didn't know you existed. Made sacrifices that will never appear in any records. His jaw tightened. That's what heroism looks like. Not the glory or recognition. The quiet choices to do what's right when no one's watching. Splinter taught us that, Leo said. That honor isn't about what others see. It's about what you know you've done when you're alone in the dark. Your father sounds like someone I would have respected, Batman said. The offer stands. Until Constantine can send you home, you work with me. With us, the Bat family. You'll have resources, training, support. In exchange, you help protect this city, not as my soldiers, as partners. Leo looked at his brothers. Raph's bruised face held calculation, weighing freedom against purpose. Donnie's curiosity was barely contained. A year in a universe with different physics, technology, magic to study. Mikey's fear warred with excitement. New friends, new adventures, new pizza parlors to try. Together? Leo asked them. The question they'd asked each other 1,000 times. Together, they answered. Leo turned back to Batman. We accept. On one condition, we don't kill, ever. That's non-negotiable. Agreed, Batman said. Welcome to Gotham. Try not to die. Inspiring pep talk, Raph muttered. He's working on his motivational skills, Nightwing said. Give him another decade or 2. Alfred cleared his throat. If the tactical discussions are concluded, I've prepared rooms in the Manor's East Wing. You'll need proper accommodations for an extended stay. I trust you don't mind the furniture is human-sized? I can make modifications. We've lived in sewers, Mikey said. Anything with actual beds is an upgrade. They moved through the Batcave toward the manor above. 4 brothers from another world, adopted by Gotham's darkness, given purpose in a city that consumed heroes and spat out legends. The next months blurred together in training and blood. Batman taught them Gotham's rhythms, how to read the city's moods, predict where violence would bloom, move through shadows that even natives feared. They learned the difference between New York's chaos and Gotham's malevolence. One city ignored you. The other actively tried to kill you. Nightwing showed Leo advanced acrobatics, techniques that made rooftop traversal into art form. They sparred at dawn, exchanging philosophies of leadership, discovering they'd both learned the same hard lesson. Everyone you lead will die someday, and living with that knowledge was the price of command. Red Hood took Raph to the worst parts of Gotham, Crime Alley, the Bowery, places where hope went to rot. Showed him what happened when you didn't cross lines, when you let monsters live because principle mattered more than results. They never agreed, but they understood each other in ways Leo never could. Batgirl and Donnie bonded over technology, building equipment that fused alien engineering with Wayne's resources. Oracle guided them through Gotham's information networks, teaching them that intelligence was the greatest weapon. Know your enemy before they know themselves, and victory becomes inevitable. Mikey found kinship in Alfred's kitchen, learning that even in darkness, small kindnesses mattered. That making someone smile after they'd seen hell was its own form of heroism. That hope was the most powerful weapon because it couldn't be killed, only surrendered. They fought alongside the Bat family, stopping Scarecrow's fear toxin attacks, dismantling Black Mask's operations, facing down Poison Ivy's ecological terrorism. Each battle taught them new lessons about this world's particular brand of nightmare. The Court of Owls watched from shadows, but didn't strike. Batman's alliance with dimensional warriors had made them recalculate risk versus reward. Amanda Waller sent reconnaissance, but didn't mobilize Task Force X. Losing her leverage once was lesson enough. Ra's al Ghul sent observers, League assassins who watched from impossible distances, reporting back to their immortal master. Studying these dimensional anomalies who had used his pit and survived. And deep in the sewers beneath Gotham, the Turtles built a new lair. Not permanent, never permanent, but home enough for brothers who'd learned that home wasn't a place. It was whoever fought beside you when the world went dark. 6 months in, Constantine appeared with news. The dimensional scar's healing faster than expected, he said, studying mystical readings that hurt Donnie's brain. Your universe and this one, they want to separate, like the multiverse itself is correcting the error. I can punch through in maybe 3 months, send you home, if you still want to go. Of course we want to go, Leo said automatically, then paused. Don't we? Silence stretched through their underground lair. Repurposed maintenance tunnels transformed through Donnie's engineering and Alfred's generous equipment donations. I miss Splinter, Mikey said quietly. Miss April and Casey. Miss our New York, our enemies, our whole life. But we've built something here, Donnie finished. Connections, purpose. We've made a difference in ways we couldn't back home. We were always hiding, Raph said, the admission painful. Fighting from sewers, staying secret, watching humans live lives we could never have. Here, Batman's got our backs. We're part of something bigger. We have a responsibility to go back, Leo said. Our New York needs us, Splinter needs us, but... The Batcave's alarms shrieked. Oracle's urgent voice cutting through. Mass breakout at Blackgate Prison. 37 inmates loose in downtown Gotham. GCPD is overwhelmed. Batman's responding, but he needs backup. All available units. The Turtles moved as one. Weapons grabbed, gear secured, trained responses honed through 6 months of Gotham's particular hell. We're on our way, Leo said into the comm. They raced through sewers toward the chaos, toward the violence, toward the people who needed heroes and didn't care what those heroes looked like. 3 months, Mikey said as they ran. Then we decide. Stay or go. Together. Together, they agreed. Above them, Gotham burned with familiar fires. Criminals celebrating freedom. Heroes racing to stop them. The eternal cycle of darkness and defiance playing out under poisoned stars. But in the sewers, 4 brothers ran toward the chaos, not away from it. 4-dimensional travelers who'd learned that heroism transcended universes, that family was forged in fire, that sometimes home was wherever you chose to make your stand. Batman's voice crackled through their comms. Turtles, status? 2 minutes out, Leo reported. We're with you. A pause, then carrying weight that Batman rarely expressed. Good. Gotham needs you. We all do. They emerged into streets slick with rain and blood, joining the Bat family in the eternal war against darkness that could never be won but had to be fought anyway. 3 months until they could go home. 3 months to decide what home even meant. But tonight they had work to do. Leo's katanas sang as they cleared their sheaths, brothers falling into formation around him. Gotham spreading before them like a puzzle made of broken glass and shattered dreams. Ready? Leo asked. Always, they answered. And 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, far from the universe that birthed them, dove into Gotham's darkness. Not as visitors anymore, but as protectors, as heroes, as family who'd found home in the least likely place imaginable. The night swallowed them whole, and they fought back with everything they had. The dimensional rift had closed, but the bridge between worlds remained, not physical, but forged in shared battles and mutual respect. When Constantine finally opened the passage home 3 months later, the Turtles stood before it with hearts heavier than expected. Batman didn't offer speeches, just a nod of acknowledgement and a bat signal medallion for each brother, symbols that meant wherever they were. Gotham remembered them. "You're always welcome here," Nightwing said, and meant it. "Come back when you're bored of your universe," Jason added. "Gotham's always got work for competent crazy people." They returned to their New York, to Splinter's tearful reunion, to April and Casey's disbelieving joy. Home felt different now, smaller maybe, or perhaps they'd grown larger through battles in a darker world. But on quiet nights, when New York's chaos seemed insufficient, Leo would hold the Bat Medallion and remember a city that had tested them, broken them, and rebuilt them stronger. Across dimensions, in Gotham's perpetual darkness, Batman would sometimes catch movement on rooftops, shadows that moved like trained ninjas, brief impressions that vanished before investigation, echoes of brothers who'd proven that heroism transcended origin, that family defied distance, that courage was universal. 2 worlds, forever changed by collision, and 4 brothers who'd learned that home wasn't where you came from. It was every place you chose to protect, every person you chose to save, every moment you decided darkness wouldn't win. New worlds await. More stories soon.